So I was on tour with my band in, the mid to late 90s, and we were traveling through Western California, and it was really late at night. We were driving somewhere after a show, and there was a community radio station that was serving as a conduit between people who were incarcerated somewhere in a federal prison in California and people who were calling in to send messages to those people who were friends and family and loved ones who either lived in other cities or other parts of the country, because with the prison system sometimes where you're incarcerated has nothing to do with where you came from. And so radio in this sense was serving as a two-way communication conduit between people who had very limited access to other forms of communication, being that they might be in jail and that their family couldn't actually get to see them, like they couldn't travel, they couldn't afford to travel, and the people who love them. And I just thought that that was a really amazing way that radio, which is sometimes viewed as sort of a one-way sort of blast of broadcast of information, where it can be used as a facilitator for community contact. When I was in the band Tsunami and co-running the record label Simple Machines, one of the coolest things that would happen would be that we would have a very small list of little college radio stations and small non-commercial stations where we would send our records, and we couldn't go overboard. We had to just maybe pick 100, and we would send off new releases with a nice letter and hope that they would play our music. And because we were in a band that toured a lot, we would oftentimes tune into these stations as we were traveling around, and it was always so neat to hear our work on any of our band's stuff, on HRB from Boston or WPRB in Princeton or on the West Coast. And then even more surprising would say when you'd be driving through Bozeman, Montana, and you would hear your stuff being played as you drove through Bozeman. And it would just show that the community radio stations and college stations really cared about what was being sent to them, and they didn't just rely on sort of major label fodder or anything from big labels. They were brave enough to actually play things from tiny labels from all over the country and all over the world. And it just shows that community radio can create such a level of diversity of available music that I think it's a really good thing to support. My name is Kristin Thomson. I'm the Education Director for the Future of Music Coalition, and I was in the band Tsunami, and I'm currently in the band Ken, and I support community radio.